Hi friends, welcome to English Study Point. Today in this video lecture, I am going to discuss another famous book by Nathaniel Hawthorne titled as The House of the Seven Gables. This work was published in the year 1851. In the preface of this particular work, he describes means Hawthorne describes himself as a writer of romances. Here I am just telling important facts related to this particular work. In this novel, he distinguishes that how romantic novels are different from ordinary novels. He emphasized that these two genres are different in their conception of truth. The romantic novels or romance novels portrays the truth of the human heart, whereas ordinary fiction or novel is based on facts. Here, truth is internal, whereas fact is external. And Hawthorne romances try to portray the truth of the human heart. Then he again mentions one fact in this work. He was very much fascinated with the realism that is described in the works of Anthony Trollope. He described Trollope novels as just as real because they depict real presentation of society, realistic portrayal of society, as in some giant had hewn a great lump out of the earth and put it under a glass case. So this he mentions about Anthony Trollope novels. In the preface to The House of the Gables, he also reflects on the creative work of the romantic artist. He describes that these type of romantic artists manipulates facts into symbols in a manner that does not violate the truth of the human heart. This novel talks about Pynchon family and their ancestral history. What we get to know from the sentence is that this Pynchon family, haunted by a dark past, is considered to be as a major focus of this narrative, which is presented there in this novel titled as The House of Seven Gables. There is a character whose name is Colonel Pynchon. He forcibly acquires the land for the house by unfairly accusing and executing Matthew Mole, which leads to a curse on the family. What this meant it that he tried to forcibly took possession of a land which is situated in New England, and that land was also owned by Matthew Mole. So when this man became so much powerful, whose name is Colonel Pynchon, he tried to forcibly capture land which is already owned by Matthew Mole. As a result, before his death, this man Matthew Mole, he cursed Pynchon family. The novel is about the decadent Pynchons in the mid 19th century and how the curse is lifted. There is a character, Habziba Pynchon, who is an elderly spinster. She lives in the dilapidated house and struggles with guilt and isolation. So she is means this elderly spinster is considered to be as a protagonist of the story, an elderly spinster who lives in this dilapidated house. She is a deeply troubled character. She is burdened by the guilt and shame of her family's past and is forced to open a small shop in her home to make ends meet, but struggles with her social isolation and bitterness, which is represented in this novel. There is another character, Phoebe Pynchon, who is a young and vibrant cousin. She tried to bring hope and rejuvenation to the family upon her arrival. So she, in a way, becomes a ray of light in the dark and gloomy house, and also acts as a catalyst for change and transformation within the household. She represents innocence, purity, and the possibility of breaking free from the curse that haunts the family. Now meet another character who is part of this novel, and his name is Jeffrey Pinchon. He is by profession a judge and is very much wealthy. Hypocritical means he possesses double standards in his personality and also considered as an ambitious relative. He is symbolic of corruption and greed. Now this house of seven gables, which is a mansion, this mansion is in a dilapidated state and is owned by this judge whose name is Jeffrey Pinchon. It means that this mansion is owned by him. He took ownership of this mansion. Then Judge poor cousin Hepzibah and her brother Clifford also started living at this particular mansion, with two other characters also joined. Jeffrey Pinchon means they also started living in this mansion, and their names are Phoebe, who is considered to be as distant relative, and a mysterious man, Hallgrave. This man is taking note of, he is observing events that is happening in this mansion and telling to the readers. So he is writing the history of Pinchon family. Then this judge, whose name is Jeffrey Pinchon, after as the time passes away, he dies, and Hepzibah and Clifford inherit his wealth. Now these two people became owners of this mansion, and at last Clifford is the last descendant of Wizard Mall. The murdered uncle and the judge died of the Mall curse. At last, these two characters, Hallgrave and Phoebe, they decide to marry and move to the countryside, and their marriage will remove the curse which was a few years ago was imposed by Wizard Mall before his death on Pinchon family. Here, course was removed, and here the story ends. We get to learn from this story that this story, which is titled as The House of the Seven Gables, is a captivating and intricate novel, means complex novel that explores the darkness of the human soul and the ability to overcome past sins. Then with this video lecture ends here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your UGC NET English Literature exams. Thank you.